Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and to a bit of a chatty vlog today actually. This one has been a long time coming, not gonna lie. Today I'm sharing with you my trip review, trip report from my solo trip to Orlando, Florida last September into October. So we're looking back a while now, but I have had time to reflect on the trip and get my thoughts in order, and I just want to go through it with you guys and let you know how it was to travel solo to Florida. If you're new here, my name's Charlotte. I make a lot of travel content specifically for Orlando, Florida and Disney, so Disneyland Paris. We also go on UK breaks, have fun theme park days out, and just a lot of family and lifestyle fun. So if you like the sound of that, please do be sure to subscribe because I'd love to have you around. Okay, so if you're familiar with the channel, you'll know that I don't tend to travel solo. It's just not what I do. I have a daughter, I have a fiance, we go with family, we go as a group, you know. But on this occasion, this particular trip was for Halloween Horror Nights, and we'd already had a trip as a family that year in the February, and my partner Rob wasn't too fussed about Halloween Horror Nights. He wasn't overly inclined to return to the event. My daughter is 7, she does not go to the event, so I was like, what do I do? I haven't missed a Halloween Horror Nights, aside from the bad years, COVID times, since 2014. So 10 years I've been going to this event and I really didn't want to miss it. I knew I had friends out at the time, so I thought, hey, let's go. I'm going to go on my own. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to get to this event and it's going to be a lot of fun. And it was. So I actually booked my flights with British Airways, and I did that because we tend to fly with them most regularly. So I had air miles, Avios they're called, and with those air miles and choosing to travel with just hand luggage, I got a crazy cheap flight. Like, I think it was less than £200 for just me to go out there. It turned out that in the end I ended up upgrading to premium economy because, and this is the thing that gave me the most anxiety about the whole trip, about traveling solo, I'm really scared of flying. Like, I'm scared of heights, I'm scared of confined spaces, I'm scared of people and germs and just being like, having a lot of people around me. It freaks me out. So to do that alone is a big deal. I have done this before. I have done a Florida solo trip back in like 2017, 2018 time, so it's been a while. But yeah, the flight was giving me anxiety and I was so worried about doing that on my own. So one day on the British Airways app, it popped up, do you want to upgrade, for like, it was really reasonable. It had been on there for more, like £300 in the lead up to this trip, and then this day it just popped up. I was like, yes, yes I do. And that actually alleviated a lot of my concern, and traveling solo was absolutely fine. I am lucky enough to have flown this route quite a few times, so I am familiar with the airport, I'm familiar with like the length of the plane journey, the airport in Orlando, I know my way around, stuff like that. So it was all familiar to me, which is great. That really helped. Like, I don't think I would travel solo to somewhere completely unknown because it's scary, but knowing where I'm going and what I'm in for is really good. And it turns out I didn't actually have to worry about the flight at all because it was absolutely fine. I was sat next to a gentleman who just read his book and watched his films the whole time. I just watched films, edited, read, did whatever. I bought the Wi-Fi. I always find that that really helps pass the time on these long flights. So yeah, I didn't need to worry. It was absolutely fine. As this was a mostly Halloween Horror Nights trip, and I, at the time, I think I still do actually, it's going to run out any day, which is quite sad, but I've got a Universal Orlando annual pass. So I chose to stay on site at Universal and I went with Aventura. Again, I've stayed there before, so very familiar. Like, I know my way around the resort. I know that I'm on site. I've got the buses, the boat, which is next door at Sapphire Falls, and I'm all on site and safe. That was a big thing for me. Like, I considered staying off site on International Drive and getting Ubers to and from the parks, but when it came down to it, personally, as like a woman traveling alone, I felt safer being on site at Universal, especially somewhere that I was super familiar with already. And Aventura, by the way, if you haven't stayed there, if you haven't checked it out, it's so nice. It's like modern, it's clean, it's fresh, it's small and compact, which is really, really nice, because a lot of these resorts in Orlando, like Cabana Bay and Royal Pacific and things, they are absolutely huge. Aventura feels quite nice and cozy in a way, because it's quite small. I don't know, it's just, I like the vibes. I would definitely stay there again, and it's really reasonable value wise. So traveling solo, the hotel was always going to be the thing that I was paying out for, because usually you'd be able to split it, but not this time. But I went on, like, I think it was Trivago or something like that, and found the best price and got a really, really good price actually. I had been watching the price for the weeks leading up to booking it, and one day it just dropped significantly. So I was like, yes, book that, get on that. Aventura, British Airways, we're good. I was all booked and set and ready to go. As I previously mentioned, I was lucky enough to have quite a lot of friends out in Florida at the same time. So I've been around on Instagram and YouTube for quite a lot of years now. So I've got to know quite a lot of people in the Disney and Universal communities, which is, it's amazing. Like, I met so many of my friends. I met Tom and Dan, who I absolutely love. If you've been around the channel for a while, you'll know those guys, and I love them with my whole heart. They are amazing. So I had such a fun day with them. My best friend Lauren was there at the same time. Like, she only lives about an hour away from me, and she was in Florida at the same time, which was lovely, lovely, completely coincidental. Like, I knew her dates, but my dates were based more around Paisley and childcare and her dad and like prices of flights and stuff. So it just worked out lovely. So Lauren was there. I also met up with Joey and Gemma, who live in Orlando. My friend Melissa and her husband Craig, who live in Scotland. I've spoken to Melissa for about 5 years now, and I'd never met her in the UK, but she was in Florida. So we had a lovely day together at Universal. And I think I was just kind of lucky, guys, that I was on my own and all these people were there at the same time. So I never actually felt like I was alone as such, because I had plans every day and I got to spend time with all these great friends, and we had so much fun. I've made so many lovely new memories in the parks, and it was awesome. I do think that had my friends not have been there at the same time and I was alone all day and then all evening, that I would have felt quite lonely. Like, I was only there for 4 days, so when I got back to my room at the end of the day, I would usually just get ready for bed, eat something like a snack, and I'd be zonked out. Like, I was so tired from the day, I'd go straight to sleep. But by like the last night, last day, I did start to feel a bit lonely. So I imagine that if I was solo all day and all night, I would have felt quite lonely, and I would have missed home a lot. Like, I missed home an awful lot. But had I not had other people to spend my time with, I think that would have been quite significant, and I don't think I would have enjoyed myself half as much. So that worked out really, really well. So the main reason I went out there, as I mentioned before, was for Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Florida Resort. And last year's event was quite good actually. It wasn't one of my favourite years, but since COVID, I feel like the event has gone for more of an entertainment focus than actually scary, and it's bringing in a lot of younger audiences, and the whole vibe and theme of the event feels a bit different than what it did, say, 10 years ago. It's just not as scary anymore. Like houses like Stranger Things and Dr. Oddfellows, The Last of Us, Chucky, they're more fun focused than actually scary. It may be that I'm getting immune to the scares. I was scared a few times, but it was like jump scares, whereas back in the day, the whole event just felt like eerie and creepy and like, woo, really scary. It was a lot of fun though, and I still absolutely love it. It's my favourite event of the year, and hopefully we're going to get out there for this year's event as well, because I'd love that. I did do a few of the houses solo, like when I was waiting for friends and things, and that's quite scary actually. Going through those houses on my own is spooky, but it's not new to me, because when I used to go back in the day when Paisley was a baby, her father and I would have to take turns anyway. Like, I'd go to the event for half the night, he'd stay at the hotel, and then we'd trade. So I'm quite used to doing Halloween Horror Nights on my own. I know I know how the event works, like I know what it's all about, and yeah, it is quite jumpy though when you're going through on your own. In terms of my length of stay, I went on a Thursday, I think it was, and I flew back on the Monday night. So I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and most of Monday in the parks. I would say that that was a good amount of time. Like, it doesn't feel like very long at all, but I got everything done that I needed to do, and I didn't really want to be away for any longer than that because I just missed my baby girl and home too much. So I did have a wobble, guys. I'll be completely honest with you. On my last night, the Sunday night, I was on the BA app looking to come home and change my flight because I missed everybody. I'd done everything I wanted to do, and I want to go home to my family. But no, I pulled myself together. I went to the event that night again. That was fabulous. I then spent my last morning at Disney Springs and City Walk, which was a lot of fun as well. So I think it was a good amount of time. It did take me a long time. Like, I don't know if I am now even. I don't know if I'm recovered from the jet lag and the tiredness of cramming like a week-long trip into 4 days. It was exhausting, but I'm kind of a go, go, go person anyway. Like, I don't really stop and I can't relax. I'm just like, yeah, go, go, go. So the fast pace of it suited me, and it was when I had a bit of downtime that I had my wobbles. So I think it was quite good that I had to cram everything in, like, because I was on my own and I didn't have time to get in my head about that too much, which was good. I just mentioned that I went to Disney Springs, and to get there and also to get to and from the airport, I used Uber. I was a bit worried before I went about how I would find using Uber or Lyft on my own, but it was fine. I felt fine and relaxed when I was there in the taxis. Are they taxis or in the Ubers, however we want to refer to them? It was absolutely fine. Like, yeah, the drivers in Orlando all tend to be quite chatty and they want to talk to you about the parks and the area. So it was fine, nothing to worry about. And yeah, I had some good chats about the parks and living in Orlando and what it's like to be there all the time, and you get to know some interesting facts about some cool people, so that was all good as well. Yeah, I think that's everything. If you've got any questions or anything about the trip, then pop them down in the comments and I'll always get back to you on there. I love a little chat. If you haven't watched the series yet, then the whole thing is up on the channel and I'll link the playlist below. I actually got quite a lot of vlogs out of it, which was good. And just to wrap this up, because I do want to keep it short and sweet, in terms of the overall trip, I had a really good time. I'm glad I went solo. I would do it again, like if the situation arose again whereby it was for Halloween Horror Nights and I had nobody to go with, my family weren't interested, then I would do it again, probably for the same amount of time, maybe one night less, so like Thursday to Sunday. That would be lovely. But yeah, I do prefer going with the family, and hopefully we'll all be out there this October. If any of you guys are out there this spooky season, let me know. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please do be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Take care of yourself, guys, and I'll see you real soon. Bye, guys.